Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you here to Spiritualist Desert Church for our Sunday Zoom service. Please remember, this service is being recorded and we will continue to mute you throughout the service. If you're viewing us on YouTube, we will have that up later this week, maybe later today. And thank you for joining us via YouTube, along with being here on our live Zoom service. We'd also like to welcome Spirit here today. We know that they are always with us and within us. If you are viewing us on YouTube and would like an invitation, please send us an email or give us a call. So I'd like to do our introductions. I'm Alice Robertson. I sit on the board of directors as vice president of the board, and I am also on the pastoral committee. With me this morning will be Paula Molino. She will be our speaker today and give our sermon along with, spirit greetings and our benediction. Also, Louise Barkdale, who will be leading us in our healing meditation. We would also like to thank Lynn Collier for being our Zoom host. And yes, and so let's get started. If you will now join me in prayer. Infinite intelligence, we thank you for bringing us together today on this beautiful summer day. We welcome the abundance you bring to us in so many ways, and thank you for your presence in our lives and with us all our days. Thank you for the knowledge you bring to us, for knowing we are not alone, and that those who have passed before us are still with us and are with us always. Help us to grow and thrive today and all days. We know that you are with us, and we always welcome you in our hearts and in our lives. Amen. So it is. Okay, so I'd like to share with you the definitions and our principles of being a spiritualist. Isn't this wonderful? We actually get to read our definitions now. Spiritualism is the science, philosophy, and religion of continuous life based upon the demonstrated fact of communication by means of mediumship with those who live in the spirit world. Spiritualism is a science because it investigates, analyzes, and classifies facts and manifestations demonstrated from the spirit side of life. Spiritualism is a philosophy because it studies the laws of nature both on the seen and unseen sides of life and bases its conclusions upon present observed facts. It accepts statements of observed facts of past ages and conclusions drawn therefrom when sustained by reason and by the results of observed facts of the present day. Spiritualism is a religion because it strives to understand and to comply with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of nature, which are the laws of God. A spiritualist is one who believes, as the basis of his or her religion, in the communication between this and the spirit world by means of mediumship, and who endeavors to mold his or her character and conduct in accordance with the highest teachings derived from such communication. As spiritualists, we have no dogmas or creeds, but we do have 9 principles that we strive to live by in our everyday lives. If you will now join me in declaring these principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. I love that. I love our principles, and I know I strive to live by them, and I know so many of you do too. Okay, so now I would like to introduce to you our speaker today, Paula Molino. Paula is a longtime member of Spiritualist Desert Church. She's often run classes and meditations for us. She is a licentiate minister with the NSAC, the National Spiritualist Association of Churches. And so now let me welcome Paula Molino.
Thank you, Alice. Hey, everybody. How are you doing today? Can I get some waves out there? Hi. It's so different, of course, being here on Zoom, but it's wonderful to see you guys and to be here. Again, I'm at the church. There's our podium and our clavinova. I'm pulled up the other day, and I told you guys this before last Sunday, but again today I pulled up, and coming out of that highway I could see the church doors, and I'm like, the church, I'm so excited. So I'm really happy to be able to be here with you, those of you that are here on Zoom, those that are going to watch on YouTube later, and those that are here in spirit. They're here with me, they're here with you, they're everywhere around us, and I'm so grateful to have them. So thank you all for being here. Today, I wanted to talk to you about unconditional love, and I set that out like last week or 2 weeks ago, and then Spirit comes in, and I'm not really sure that we're talking about unconditional love, but it's going to be in there for sure. So we're actually going to start with a joke. I was always told when we do public speaking, start with a joke, and this is about a teacher and a little girl. And the teacher's teaching kindergarten, and she tells the kids that she wants them to draw something that's important to them. And the teacher notices there's a little girl in the back, and she normally doesn't really get involved in things, but she starts drawing like no tomorrow, and she's just going at it. So the teacher walks back to speak to her about this, and she looks at her and she goes, "Oh my goodness, what are you drawing?" And the little girl says, "I'm drawing God." And the teacher is taken back a little bit by this, and she says, "Nobody knows what God looks like." And the little girl, without missing a beat, says, "Well, they will in a minute." So the reason I'm bringing this joke into it, we don't know what God looks like. And as spiritualists, we don't think of God as a person. There isn't a man sitting up on high that's judging us. And we see God as infinite intelligence, as a source, an energy source, that all things come from that. And this is in our second principle. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. So we are that expression of God. Everything around us is that expression of God. And God is love. That energy, that infinite intelligence is love. And that love is unconditional. Now, other religions may see God's love as conditional because our good acts or our good deeds get us into heaven if you're looking at those other religions. But in spiritualism, we believe that there isn't a heaven and hell. There isn't somebody sitting in judgment of us. There is us, our responsibility, our actions, and what we do. And that determines where we go when we leave here. Not where we go, let me rephrase that, because we're all going to the same place, but where we are in our progression as a soul, as spirit when we get there. And we know that we're spirit first. God lives within us. We are spirit first. And our purpose here in this life is to manifest God on earth. That's what we do. We manifest God here on earth. And how do we do that? Remember, God is the source of everything, and God is love. So we manifest God through compassion, through understanding, and through love. And what does that lead us to? Well, that leads us to our golden rule. Our sixth principle, do unto others as we would have them do unto you. Through that principle, through the golden rule, which, by the way, that golden rule is in every religion in some form or another. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, that makes us have a duty to ourselves, a duty to others, and to serve ourselves and others, and to serve God. And we do that through love and unconditional love. Unconditional love, what does that mean? So there's no conditions on it, right? I mean, if you just break down the word unconditional, no conditions on that love, meaning we love others regardless. We do not put limitations or conditional conditions on that love. It just doesn't happen. So is it easy to have unconditional love? We're human beings. We are spirit first, but we're living this human existence. So unconditional love is not easy. But if we recognize the divinity in ourselves, when we know ourselves, we know God. We get closer to God. And as we learn more about God, we learn more about the world around us, outside of us, and we want to naturally step outside of ourselves and help someone else. We learn compassion and understanding from that. We learn empathy from that. And from those tools, we help others. But if we go back to unconditional love and we think about unconditional love in our life, can you name individuals that have loved you unconditionally? Think of people in your life that love you unconditionally. Some of you may have a lot of people who love you unconditionally, and some of you may not have that same experience. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different things, areas that we come from. We all have different experiences. Some of you may think that your mother loved you unconditionally. You felt that, you loved your mom unconditionally as well. There were no parameters put on that. Some of you may be mothers and fathers now, and you love your children unconditionally. But that unconditional love sometimes isn't always unconditional. We think it is. Oh, I love you unconditionally, honey. But could you possibly go to school and do these things? I love you unconditionally, honey, but could you possibly do things better? And there's a real short line and a very thin line between wanting the best for those around us and criticizing those around us. And how do we walk that line to encourage people, to give them a hand up We're all doing this. We're all working on ourselves. We're all trying to grow spiritually, mentally, physically. We are all trying to be better people. That's our purpose here on earth, is to gain knowledge, to grow spiritually, to be better, to expand our consciousness, to make the world that we leave when we leave here and we go to the next plane, the spirit world, we're going to build us now. So when we go in the spirit world, we're taking off and doing great things, right? So we're all doing that. But are we helping others by criticizing them with our words and our actions, or are we giving them a hand up? Are we helping them to be better? Are we seeing other people's growth, or are we taking their past mistakes and throwing it back in their face? And I don't want this to be a, you're doing this and you're doing that. We all do these things at some time or another. But I want us to think about the words we say to those we love unconditionally. And in reality, we should love everyone unconditionally because we are manifesting God here on earth. We are spirit. That means God lives within us. God lives within every human being. And we should recognize that divinity in them, and we should have unconditional love. I recently had a encounter with a childhood friend. He grew up across the street from my grandmother, and we were first loves, and it was this amazing, wonderful feeling. And it didn't work. We went separate paths, so it didn't work out. We didn't end up together. And because of that, we were talking, and I always say we're exactly where we need to be. This is where we are. We're in the exact spot we need to be. And I believe that tremendously. And he had said to me, well, that's true, but just imagine what our lives would have been like together. And I said, but we're exactly where we were. If we were together, we wouldn't have certain things. I wouldn't have done this in my life. I wouldn't have done these things because you would have been there. I wouldn't have been this great, amazing teacher that I am. And he said, I don't believe that. What I believe is that you would have gone further. You would have done so much more because you would have had my undying support and love for you. And imagine what you can do with that undying love and support with somebody who 100% supports everything you do, that backs you completely. Imagine where you could be right now. And I ask you guys, do you love yourself unconditionally? We are always our worst critics. We are always pushing ourselves harder than anybody else could ever push us. We don't always see that we're doing amazing things, or that just being here, trying to be a better person, that itself is an amazing thing. That in itself is great unconditional love. When you look at yourself and think you can be better, when you think, I want to learn more about spiritualism, I want to learn what it means to be a spiritualist. I want to learn more about all religions. I want to learn about God. I want to learn about my neighbor next door. I want to learn why people are upset when I say certain things. I want to learn how to grow, how to expand my consciousness. Those are amazing things. And we are human. We are spirit first, but we are human, and we are not perfect. There is nothing about us that says that we can't make mistakes. We learn every single day from those mistakes. Every single day. So, unconditional love, loving ourselves, loving each other, guarding the words that we say so that they're positive, so that they're helpful, so that they are something to inspire versus knock down someone. In our society today, I've said this before, we have a vibration as people, we have a vibration as a church, We have vibration as a society. And our societal vibration right now isn't the greatest. But it's up to us to continue to be positive, to live the best life that we can, and help others to do that. And we help others doing that by reaching out a hand to help them, by being a model for them, and by understanding that they're going to make mistakes. And those are just that, mistakes, that we can move past that. So one of the things that govern all of this is the law of life. The law of life is that all things come from God. Infinite intelligence is the source of everything. And if that is true, which we know it is, and we believe it as spiritualists, it is true, then I come from God. God is love, and I come from love. And I shall meet every person with love. And if we can do that, imagine how wonderful the world could be if we support people and help them. Imagine how amazing that world can be. And I know we can't affect the entire world, but I can affect the group that I can, and that spans out from there. Every day in my teaching, I walk into my empty classroom, I'm so cheesy, and I say aloud, "Good morning, classroom, are you ready to change the world?" And every day we do, because I change a kid's life every single day. And that kid then affects however other many people, and then they actually affect that many other people. And it's this amazing, wonderful gift. We all have that gift, every single one of us. I want you today to think about unconditional love. I want you to think about the people who have loved you and who you love. And I want you to inspire others to send that love out to everyone. Lloyd Jones said, the real spiritualist is a student of the law of life. And remember, the law of life is God's law. The law of life is God's law. And because of that, we have a duty to ourselves and to others to do unto them as we would have them do unto us. When we do that, we not only make ourselves better, we make other people better, and in turn, we make the world a better place. Being of service to others is giving love, and love is the fulfillment of the law of life. So again, I challenge each and every one of you to send out love, to love yourself, to love others, especially those individuals that it is difficult to love, and inspire them to raise their consciousness and become better people. God bless.
Thank you, Paula. That was so inspiring. And okay, I've got to say it. I love you, Paula. You're wonderful. And I'm not even in your classroom. Okay, now is the time that we normally have our love offering when we are together in church. We have wonderful news. We now have a working PayPal account, so you can not only write a check and send it to our church's address, but you can now donate through PayPal. And I really want to thank all the hard work from Louise Barkdahl, Lynn Collier, Paula Homan to make this work. We've been working on it for a while, and I so appreciate all the work that you all have gone through for it. We also want you to know, as I go into our announcements, we are closed. Our church doors right now are closed, even if Paula is inside the church. We aren't holding services there right now. We look forward to the day that we can all be together again. And let's see. We are also, we want you to know though that we're still there for you. You can contact any of us and we will happily talk to you, email you, text you. If you have any questions about spiritualism or our church, if you'd like to become a member of our church, and if you would just like to talk about your situation, we're always happy to talk to you. And our board is always available and our pastoral committee available to you. We have a food bank in our church, and we're also happy if you have need of food or if you would like to donate food. Again, if you will get a hold of us through our church, we would be happy to make that happen. We record our service for YouTube, and that's happening right now, our recording. It will hopefully go up later today. And you can watch it as many times as you wish on YouTube. If you're a member of our church, we do have some special announcements just for you. If you haven't been able to make your dues payment, please get a hold of us, let us know. And because we really want you as a member of our church, if you're unable to monetarily make that payment, we are happy to help you with that. And if you have any concerns about membership, we're happy to talk to you. In October, we will be having Nationals Convention, our NSAC convention, in October in Arizona. At this point, it's still going on, and we look forward to our convention and getting together with those in our national organization that we sometimes don't see very often. We've been seeing a lot more of them on Zoom, which has been lovely. But if you would like to represent, if you're a member of our church and would like to help represent us, please get a hold of us, and so that we can let National know how many people will be joining us. And you just need to be a member of our church to do that. And we would love to have you help us serve our church at convention. In September, for our members again, we will hold a town hall meeting. We will be going over some of the business that happens at convention. And again, we would love to have you join us for that and talk about the future of the NSAC, the future of our church, bylaws, and what's going on with our national organization. We now go into the healing portion of our service. We would like to invite you to join us in our healing meditation that will be led by longtime member Louise Barkdale. She is not only a member of our church, she is co-chair of our pastoral committee and the secretary of our church. She also leads many meditations and classes for us. And if you will now join me in our prayer for spiritualist healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. And now, may I present Louise Barkdahl.
Good morning, everybody. At least morning for everyone here on the West Coast. Good afternoon for those on the East Coast. And good evening for those of you watching on YouTube later on at a different time. I hope that everyone is well this beautiful summer day as well. For the next few moments, we're going to focus on ourselves. No multitasking, just a single task. Focusing on ourselves, focusing on connection with spirit, with those in the spirit world, with each other, through that wonderful source of healing love. So get yourselves comfortable, get into a good, comfortable position, feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in and let it out and let things go. Take another deep breath in, and as you release, let the cares of the day go. And one more deep breath in, letting it go. We are going to consciously focus on our minds, focus on our hearts, and release the physicality of our bodies for these few moments in time. What we are consciously going to do is shift our focus from our physical body to our mind, to our heart, to our soul. So as we begin that, focus again on your breath. How the air comes into your lungs, filling your lungs, and exhaling. Focus on that same air leaving your lungs, leaving your body. And with every breath, feel your muscles soften. Feel relaxation overtaking your body. And as your body relaxes, as that softness of the muscles settle in, you no longer are so focused on your physical body. You are able to release. You are able to let go. And you're able to feel your vibration rise above that body and rise toward that limitless lake of healing. That healing that is supplied by God, infinite intelligence, that is available to all of us whenever we want to touch in. As you feel your vibration rise, as you feel your consciousness rising to a place where there is no worry, where there is only connection to spirit, you can actually feel that within your body. Because your vibration has changed, you can feel that connection. Some people feel it as a mild electrical current. Some people feel it as a unlimited love that makes your heart race. However you feel it, focus in on that. For that is a key to tapping into that healing energy. The wonderful thing about this healing energy is as we raise our vibration to tap into it, and as we feel it as a balm on our soul and to our mind, we're able to take it back to our body as well. So we experience it now on this level with our mind and our soul. And by the time we finish this meditation, we take it back for it to nourish our body and nurture our body as well. Because this healing is physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. We are connected to God, and because we all hold a divine spark within us that is God, we are all connected with each other as well. And because we do strive to live in that state of unconditional love, we are supporting each other right now. We are healing each other right now. We are giving that love and healing, and we are receiving that love and healing. It supports us and sustains us through this physical existence and those in the spirit world too. And now it's time to begin our return. So take another deep breath in and let it go. Continue to focus on your breathing and shifting our minds back to our bodies, back to this physical realm. Taking another deep breath, feeling our vibration descend back to this physical world. And as you realign in with your physical body, begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, becoming full aligned with your physicality again. Opening your eyes, being aware of our surroundings, and ready to complete our day and the rest of our week until we see each other again. God bless.
Thank you, Louise. That was such a lovely meditation. I look forward to YouTube when I can instead of watching the screen, as is my job, go and actually do that meditation. That was so lovely. Thank you. We want to make sure you all know that we maintain our healing list. If you would like to be placed on our healing list or know somebody who needs healing and would like to be on our healing list, please send us that information, and we are happy to put you or that person on our list. We always want you to include your pets, as we feel that they are family members too. And our healing list is, we send healing to people on our healing list every day. We have several people who are doing that. Okay, we now move into the mediumship portion of our service. If you're viewing us on YouTube, be aware we do not record this portion of the service for YouTube, but we do want you to understand the definition of being a medium, and so therefore we will put that on our YouTube. By definition, a medium is one whose organism is sensitive to vibrations from the spirit world, and through whose instrumentality, intelligence in that world are able to convey messages and produce the phenomena of spiritualism. Please remember that a medium proves the continuity of life. And understand that all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. A psychic will read your aura and your energy, while a medium will bring through someone who has lived on the earth plane. It's also important to know that a medium is not a medical doctor and therefore cannot diagnose nor prescribe. As we close our service today, we'd like to thank you all for being here with us live. We'd like to thank those of you who are joining us on YouTube for your comments and your suggestions and all of your great feedback that we get from you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Paula for our benediction.
Okay, everyone, let's take a deep breath in. Infinite intelligence, thank you so much for allowing us this time together. Please go with us throughout this week. Help us to recognize the divinity within ourselves and within each other, to give each other unconditional love and support. And may we feel your love and support throughout the week. We love you and we thank you. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Paula, for joining us. Thank you, Louise. Thank you, Lynn, for your great hosting. I always appreciate your great hosting. And thank you for joining us today. As you go out into your days and your weeks, please be safe. Wear your masks, stay 6 feet apart. And thank you all for being here today.